Welcome to the Christmas episode of Curio. This week we have a load of weird news stories all about the Christmas spirit. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Did you like that Christmas version of the jingle?
Love that Christmas version, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost too Christmassy.
Yeah.
We did have a Christmas version of the song
I know,
already on a previous episode. I don't know if I still have the file, so
I was going to say, I'll try and dig
either
it out.
you got to make a new one or...
Yeah. Took me ages, that last one as well. Took me ages.
Either that or the fart song needs to come back.
Just with sleigh bells on it.
Never actually found the fart song. Can't remember what episode that was. But yeah, we've got all Christmas-related weird news stories. I think that was the assignment. I don't know how well we did in terms of getting those. Does anyone want to go first?
Yes.
Rob wants to go first.
Because mine's especially Christmassy.
Wow.
It was like, I assumed it was going to be Christmassy. And I'll be honest, clearly so did this morning, which is why they've done it at this sort of point. And they're like, in the fucking thing, they're all surrounded by Christmassy stuff. I guess that's how their set looks at the minute. But they obviously also thought this was going to be Christmassy, I guess. The researchers. I fell for the same thing before actually reading it and was like, it's not really Christmassy. But it's about elves, which is why
That's
thought it was
definitely Christmassy, yeah.
Yeah, but it's the wrong type of elf. I think it's more just like your average...
Is it an evil elf?
Wood elf. Well, it's about a man who he like lives with 4 elves, but they're not very Christmassy, I'll be honest.
Are they sexy elves? Is this what that you're about to...
I mean, they're always sexy in some way, aren't they? I think,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean...
Those pointy ears.
It's in the eye of the beholder, but I mean, I don't think he's just having dinner with them. They be fucking.
Okay.
I'm surprised you didn't see this. It was doing the
This
rounds.
is recent. This is this year, this Christmas.
It was on this morning, like the other day.
Ah, nice.
This article was from yesterday, so it could have been yesterday or the day before. It was probably the day before that, wasn't it? It was on this morning. This week, anyway. This is fucking up-to-date shit, lads.
All right,
yeah.
I'm in, yeah.
And yeah, it's clearly, obviously, like when I was reading this, I was like, they're not Christmassy elves, but they've obviously thought the same thing, haven't they? Like, elf.
Yeah, get them in.
Get them in, yeah. This morning, fans were left spitting out their tea as a man bragged about taking 4 of his elf dolls to bed. Not fans of elves. This morning fans of this morning. So yeah, obviously straight away taking them to bed. During Thursday's instalment, this is fresh. This is hot off the press, this shit.
That was yesterday.
Less than 24 hours old, this is.
Nick Rorett revealed all about life with his £15,000 elf collection.
Is that spread across?
Wait, what did you say? 15 grand?
£15,000, yeah. I mean, that's small fry, really, probably compared to some of the other people we spoke about.
Yeah, wait, but you said elf collection.
Yeah, because you got 4 of them.
But, okay, that doesn't... I guess that is a collection. I don't know how many you need to have a collection, but if you said to someone, I have a £15,000 collection of something, you'd expect it to either be things that are really expensive, which I guess maybe these are, or a lot of them.
Yeah.
If you said, I have a collection of, what's the name for like vintage cars, and you saw someone had 4, you'd go, yeah, fair.
Yeah. Okay. But vintage cars cost like hundreds of thousands or millions.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
How much are these elves then?
I guess 15 divided by 4.
yeah, I guess so. I guess like around 3.
Some look more expensive than others, so it's quite possible that he's upped price point. Perhaps with a lower entry price point elf, and as he's got more into it, he's
splashed out. He's splashed out on an elf.
Yeah, exactly.
Has he
since buying his
splashed out on an
first elf, so he's had it since 2014. Buying his first elf in 2014, he spends his free time dressing them up, doing their hair and makeup, and even taking them to bed every night for a cuddle. Now, the thing is, like, this man does not look of retired age, I'll be honest. I mean, he just about could be. I suppose he could be, but like not necessarily. Like, he's not definitely a fucking retired age. So like, why would you go? Why would you go on this morning? Like, this cunt's got what? He's going to Tesco tomorrow. Like, other supermarkets with man that own elves are available.
He's the elf guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's have a look at him. Where's the link?
I'll share it. Yeah,
I want to see this guy.
I mean, and I suppose, what do you expect an elf collector to look like?
Yeah, because at the moment I'm just picturing like gnomes, essentially, like ornaments. Are these not?
No. They're basically sex dolls.
Okay.
But they're all elven. They're all elven.
Oh, okay, and not even okay. Yeah, I get what you mean now when you were saying it's not really that like because
they're not Christmassy elves, are they? Like Christmassy elves are small, I suppose, aren't they? Whereas these are more like Lord of the Rings elves. So yeah, he's from North Wales. He's joined the right. So he's proudly revealing the identities of his dolls. The one to my right is Boresh. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
She's a forest elf. Why is it so cross-eyed?
Oh yeah. I call her the Gaelic in glass because she's green. I mean, that's terrible bit of writing.
Okay.
Can't be what he said. This is Eshe. She's a drow elf or night elf or a dark elf. This is Saoirse. I shouldn't have to pronounce that because that's one of my friend's kids is called that. I'm pretty sure it's Saoirse. She's a silver elf. She's the princess guardian of Kavina, who is the queen elf. Obviously, she's the gold elf. Right. Cheers, mate. He then insisted that his relationships with his dolls, here we go, are in no way sexual, and he simply cuddles them, which is a great way of keeping warm.
Mm-hmm.
Are they heated? Because like,
he said, no. I mean, she's wearing more clothes than what most women do. He's like shaming women. He's bringing slut shaming into it. My elves are respectable.
My elf, not sex dolls, just elf dolls. They're modest.
Yeah, this is much better for society. They're nice to cuddle. It's better than just cuddling up the sadness of a pillow. And the lovely thing is they actually warm up because they have metal skeletons. They actually retain the warmth. That's wild. I mean, your pillow gets kind of warm though. Sometimes,
pillow gets warmer than metal, doesn't it? Surely.
Just buy a fucking hot water bottle, mate.
Yeah. You can buy those really big hot water bottles. I've seen them advertised when we was like out in the campus.
Like a long, skinny one.
Long, skinny hot water bottle.
Yeah. Rosie's got one of those.
With a hole in it.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes put my leg over the pillow.
Oh yeah.
I like. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sometimes I get every now and then I just feel like I don't want my knees touching. But not all the time.
Okay. I feel like I like my legs touching each other because they're like warming each other up, similar to what this guy's saying, I guess.
Yeah, sometimes I want a pillow there, but not all the time. But when I do that, it gets hot. So this guy's chatting. Metal skeletons is wild, isn't it? But like, how?
It's so that you can like manipulate them and move them into like a position. That, but like, they're like figures.
Does that really? Do you really feel that warmth coming back through what I assume is then like latex on top, or?
Yeah, I wonder I don't know how they're constructed.
Dubious. How many holes they got? As long as they have the bed covers on them, you can potter around and get back into bed, and they're still lovely and warm. So 4 of the cunts in bed as well. That must be quite a squeeze in there. When asked about people's reactions, he said strangers to the house come in and they're a little bit shocked, especially when they see Kavina because she's so tall. She can be a bit scary, which was the idea, he chuckled. But normally people are just a bit fascinated by them, and it's surprising how many people come out of the woodwork about how they like Lord of the Rings, elves, and all that sort of thing. Right.
Yeah. It's hard to emphasize for like anyone who's just listening, not watching, that they are not Christmas elves. They don't even look. They don't even look that like sexy. Like
no, they don't.
Like their faces are like very non.
They're not like the highest. Like, they look more like mannequins, don't they?
No, Kavina or whatever his name is, that tall one, definitely the best, like most human looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, they are like
the blonde one is sort of like could be a girl on a night out.
Yeah. What the?
I suppose, with like some sort of like camp makeup.
Yeah, there's not any of these that could pass for like, I don't know, just a woman.
No, you wouldn't be confused, would you? You wouldn't double take. I love how this as well, though. There's a part of this article that's like talking about people on fucking Twitter talking about talking about the This Morning segment, like slamming This Morning for scraping the barrel. One user said, Nick and his elves, oh my God, I'm getting fed up with this program. I've seen everything now. And I just love that they're caning them for scraping the barrel and we're using it as well.
Yeah, even worse. We're like scraping the barrel that's already been scraped. Like,
I straight away saw it, I was like, that is instant fucking Curios content just in time.
I like the comment saying taking Elf on the Shelf to the extreme.
Yeah. Elf in the bed. I do wonder how like TV shows like This Morning get a hold of people like this, because without him coming out and being like, hey, look, I'm the elf guy who wants to interview me, then how else do they get a hold of him? Like either a family friend has like emailed in or and he's obviously agreed to it. So like somehow, because I've tried before to like get people to come on here who are weird, or like when we were looking for like that most eccentric man, like I just Googled him, managed to find him. But I was trying to find all different weird people, and it's hard to find them. Like you might find like a news story like this, but how did the original person, like how did that researcher go out and like find them? Like,
sometimes it makes me dubious. It's like, does this guy really already do this, or have they just gone? It's a fucking slow week. Let's just pay an actor, get a couple of mannequins, dress them up like elves, stick him in his house and go.
Plant.
Yeah.
Maybe he's got like an Instagram or something. I don't know. Maybe he's.
Doesn't seem like it. They haven't mentioned.
Well, they have actually shared. Oh, look, they've dragged this up. So Daily Mail have actually linked their own article here. Man who spent 15 grand on 4 life-size elf dolls to cuddle insists their relationship is not sexual and they provide comfort like a teddy bear. And this article's from 10th of December 2020.
Oh.
So they've dragged this up. And there's a really shitty old pixelated video. He obviously loves just a bit of this.
Oh, yeah. And that was around Christmas time. It looks like his house is all tinseled up.
Yeah.
That's how he lives.
Yeah, it's hard to tell, isn't it? He has suggested to Ann Summers that one of his dolls, Saoirse, could be used in the lingerie brand's Christmas campaign. He obviously rates that one the most.
There's a news story from 2020 here as well.
That's the one. That's what I'm talking about.
Is that the one you're looking at? It says he was from Birmingham. He's in North Wales, so he's had to relocate. He's had to escape Birmingham.
Oh, he's taking the elves with him,
yeah. But yeah, imagine that in the moving fucking van. That was it. Oh no, he would have took him in the car, I suppose, wouldn't he? Wouldn't have bunged him in the back of the van. He'd have took him in the car with him, strapped him in. Then they wanted him from the services.
What did he say that Saoirse was? Because here he says Forestier is a forest elf, and then Eshe is a dark elf. That lines up, right? And then Kavina was the queen elf. But was Saoirse a silver warrior elf in the most recent?
I like how interested in that.
Oh, what is he changing his?
Has he changed his?
Oh, right,
like categorization.
Saoirse, she's a silver elf. She's the princess guardian. She's been upgraded since 2020. She's now taken on the role of princess guardian of Kavina.
Right,
after the moves, yeah.
So there is a bit of lore.
I love this in this one as well. It says, Nick is currently single, but doesn't think his dolls have negatively affected his dating life. I haven't really gone out to have any dates of late, he said. I have female friends and they're quite happy with them. Some are quite interested and some ignore them. I have one who helps me with the costumes. Well,
okay.
It's nice to find your people, isn't it, I guess?
Yeah.
I find that hard to believe, but maybe.
I guess it's hard for it to like negatively affect his dating life. Like, does that just mean he didn't have one before? Like he's like, oh yeah, I wouldn't be dating with or without these, so it doesn't really make a difference. You know?
He's made no odds. I now just have 4 dolls to fuck, so I'm less bothered about going out on a date. Is basically what he's saying, isn't it?
Yeah. All right,
I mean, where do you think he's got them? Because they must be sex dolls. Like, where else do you buy this?
Yeah, like lifelike elf. Yeah, because they don't. I think if you wanted to if you were really interested in just having like lifelike elven people around your house, you could find ones that look a lot better than this, where they've taken more care and attention to like their face and like how it looks. Like you'd get like actual like movie props potentially. But they do just look like sex dolls that have been painted green and got pointy ears. That's kind of it.
Yeah, and like he may have even done the ears or.
Yeah,
oh no, I suppose it's probably it's probably a category
probably an
that
option.
exists, isn't it? Yeah, that's probably an option. Yeah.
All right. So my story that I've brought with me, I thought it was just as relevant in terms of like timing, but it was actually 11 months old, so it was last Christmas. This is a story from what airline was it? Airbus, but that's not an actual airline, is it? That's just like a type of.
No, I think that's an airline. I think that's an airline.
Airbus Atlantic. Oh, okay, I thought Airbus was like Boeing, where like that was just one of the categories of plane. But
Boeing is also a company.
Yeah, but they don't. They just make the planes. They don't operate. Right. They're not like. They're not like.
Oh yeah.
Like Thomas Cook. That's not a thing. But like British Airways and Virgin and EasyJet. But this says like it just says Airbus. Because it was for Airbus staff. Okay. Airbus, I guess, had like a staff Christmas party, like a lot of companies do, and everyone had like a real nice French-inspired Christmas dinner. It says that the food featured delicacies like foie gras, scallops. Is it scallops? Scallops, people say, and lobster.
Scallops, yeah.
So it sounds like a real nice. They've splashed out. Well, over 700 of the staff members became very sick, and apparently it was quoted as worse than giving birth. One of the staff members said.
I'm assuming that was a man that said that.
Maybe. I didn't actually look. I've linked the article. Have a little look and see. Oh, they had to pay as well. So it wasn't even like a free Christmas dinner. It said, okay, it's €15 a head, £13.
That's not bad.
Which ain't too bad, I guess, for
but why would
gras.
you pay for your own fucking works Christmas dinner? That's bullshit.
Yeah, that is weird.
I'd be going fucking sick.
Yeah, and it's almost like, why even bother? Like, if you're providing foie gras, scallops, lobster, I don't even know what this is, tornadoes, it says. And then desserts of ice cream logs and hazelnut and chocolate mousse at just £13. Why even bother having the price there in the first place? Like, just do it for free if you're giving all that food for so cheap.
Yeah, just slightly less food for free.
Yeah.
That's
kind of it, really. I wanted a real quick one. I had like a few articles here and I was like, all right, we spoke a lot about the elves here. Oh, okay, wait. Christmas dinner. Oh, okay. This isn't even actually as bad as I thought. Okay, so 700 people were sick, but there was 2,600 people at the event.
Yeah, that's still pretty high percentage. That's like 25%.
What's an acceptable percentage of...
Quick fine maths, that is there, bro.
Yeah.
What's an acceptable percentage of food sickness?
Less than 5.
Yeah, kind of like 1%. That's just like, that may or may not have been the food.
Okay, but yeah, okay. If it's clearly like what was eaten, yeah, yeah, fair enough.
And when they say sick, I'm guessing it was messy bums and messy mouths.
I think so. Yeah, it says diarrhea and
someone says I had colic and headaches like I never had before. I thought colic was a thing that babies got.
I thought that was a thing that babies get.
Yeah, but so I found this out probably about 2 months ago. I had just one night. I had crazy stomach pains, like really intense cramps. Kept me awake the whole night. Couldn't sleep. It would come in like every 20 minutes or so. I'd get like this wave of stomach cramps so bad that I had to stand up. I couldn't lay down. I had to like move around. I felt I had to like constantly fidget to try and deal with the pain, but like really, really painful. And I looked it up, and colicky is a symptom. So you're colicky, it's like a stomach cramp. It's like that feeling of something coming in waves and like really squeezing in your stomach. So I guess babies do have it because it's their digestive system still.
Shit.
Well, no, it's not even fully developed, right, to handle proper food and shit. So that's why they get these cramps. So yeah, you can get it, colicky. If you go to the doctor and you say, I've got a colicky pain, it's describing a very specific type of stomach cramp.
Wow, the education you get on the Curio cast.
There you go. I mean, you just don't get this on any
Curio.
other podcast. You don't get this on any other podcast.
Does that put us into the education category?
We're hitting as many categories as we can. Yeah, get the biggest reach possible.
You know, I was annoying about when I had those pains. Right, normally if you've got like stomach cramp and stuff, you know, I'm probably going to have diarrhea, or I need to do a poo, or I need to fart, and at least you get that sort of relief for a little bit. But this whole night, I had this really, the worst pains I've ever had. Nothing, like no diarrhea, no
I've had that before,
wind, nothing. So I don't know what it was.
Did you keep going to thinking you needed a shit, and you're like, I just need to go sit on the toilet, and then you go and nothing happens. You're just like, what's going on? Like,
it got to like 4 a.m. I was like, what is going on here? So
I mean, that was
and then like you just strain your
segment there talking about
I was about to say you just strain your bumhole muscles, like trying to get it out, but nothing actually comes out.
And that is how I developed hemorrhoids, listeners.
Well, I was going to ask, like, off this story, like, I was hoping to lead it into like what's like one of the worst Christmas dinners you've had, but then I realized like I don't really have like a bad Christmas dinner story, so I don't know if you guys do either. Like,
I had norovirus one year after Well, I mean, I just got it after I'd cooked Christmas dinner, and I'd cooked a goose.
Oh.
And I'd never cooked a goose before.
I see.
Yeah. It was my girlfriend at the time. We had her brother and his missus over, and just us four, so I cooked a goose. And I was so sick. Like, and obviously, instantly I thought, fuck, it's the goose, you know, like, and it was probably like later the next day. Or maybe it was later that night. It might have been later that night. I remember I didn't even eat like the leftovers. I remember like I was looking forward to eating the leftovers, and like I was so ill. I was so sick. And then, you know, I messaged them obviously, and we're like, are you guys okay? And like my girlfriend at the time seemed okay. And they were like, yeah, we're fine. And then it was like, it was the wildest thing though. I was like sick for like almost 12 hours.
That was your body telling you to turn vegan. That's what it was.
Yeah, it might have been. And, but like it was like you're so sick that you're like whimpering, you know. Like I was whimpering on the toilet, like this is.
Oh yeah, you like wish you were dead. Sometimes.
I was like crying almost. Yeah, like this is fucking. And like, you know, like for a second you're like happy that you're being sick because it takes away the feeling of sick, but you just like nothing's gonna, you know,
yeah.
And then you like feel better briefly, and then and it was almost like 12 hours to the minute that I started being sick. After that, the girlfriend started being sick.
Oh.
And then she was hideously sick like that. And then her friend was coming to stay from up north, and he was like on his way, and we were like, you know, I'd already bought your train ticket now. She was like, well, I've been like hideously ill. Well, we're pretty sure it's norovirus. You're probably going to get it. And he was just like, I'll just steer clear of here for a couple of days, or, you know, a day or so. He was down for a week or whatever. Yeah, that was that. But we didn't eat any of the leftovers, and I never wanted to eat goose after that, even obviously before I got big. You know, and it's just like, I couldn't help but associate that with it.
I don't think I've ever had goose.
That was the second time I've ever had it. I had it once at uni. Our mate was a bit of a chef. Fancied himself a bit of a chef.
Goose at uni?
Yeah, and he got goose at uni.
Whoa,
I know, these students. No, they can't afford a fucking ass. He made, he bought a goose, and we had we lived with these two Chinese girls. They were like exchange students. I've told you about these before. Like,
you have, yeah.
Shout out Basie Josh. We lived with them, and they were just obviously so confused to be living with us. But we invited them for Christmas dinner. We were like, we're going to have like an English Christmas dinner. You know, you just want to have it. They were like, yeah, that sounds great. Like, we'll do a traditional Chinese dessert. We're like, sick. You know, that's cool. That's really nice. That sounds good. And as it was being cooked, we could see them. Obviously, they had it on early in the day. And we were like, this looks a bit mad. Like, that looks interesting. It was like purple. And and it was like this flowery thing. I mean, obviously our Western palates were not used to this. Either that, or we said like maybe they were just fucking with us because they thought we were pricks. They were like, fuck you. Keeping
or they
us
were
up
just
late.
bad at it as well.
playing
Like you
your
can
shit.
like knock up a cheesecake, but if you're really bad at it, then like it's not
Yeah,
gonna be
maybe.
nice. Yeah.
No, I think it was just we weren't used to. It was bizarre. It was the most bizarre thing.
Did you pretend to like it?
We had to. It was like that Friends episode. We were all like,
Yeah.
but then like Joey likes it. Like one of our mates really liked it and was actually like, and they left the room and he was like, no, this is actually sick. Like, I'll eat yours. Like
Party bowls, yeah.
Yeah.
Did they like the goose?
They seem to like the dinner. Yeah, again, they could have been just doing their best impression of someone chatting shit. But like this, it was bizarre. It was not sweet. It was like really floral and like kind of bitter. Strange. But yeah.
They were trying to poison you. Maybe it was like
That's what I said. Yeah, they could have been fucking with us. Like, one of us. I mean, I hope they're not listening. But you imagine if they were. The chances. One of the guys we lived with they had this like really meaty like cleaver. Like obviously must have cost a bit. He used it to try and cut a coconut once. Obviously weren't supposed to use it anyway. Fucking took a big chip out of it.
Oh no.
I know, so bad. And he just
put it back.
Put it back,
Yeah.
never said nothing.
Oh.
Cleavergate.
Yeah. George, you got any Christmas dinner disasters?
No, I was trying to think. I don't think I've had any disastrous Christmas dinners. I don't think I've ever been sick over Christmas as well.
Touch
that's
wood.
always like my biggest night. Yeah, touch wood. That's always been like my biggest, not fear, but like because it's a day you sort of look forward to all year, isn't it?
I got filled in Christmas Eve once, and
excuse me.
Yeah, I got beaten up, and we went on a night out, and
Did you deserve it?
I think I deserved it.
Wasn't those two Chinese girls? Was it?
Yeah. What? Actually, I didn't really deserve it. I mean, I sort of deserved it from them, but I didn't deserve it. It was one of my friends was like, I noticed him getting in a fight, and I went over I was gattered. I went over all like, "Whoa," and then just got like punched repeatedly. Got a bit of a kick in. Got a bit of a tickle. That's what one of these guys I know said. He was like, he got a bit beaten. He was like, yeah, they gave me a bit of a tickle, didn't they? But the next day, my jaw, it was like, apparently when you get like punched in like the face, it like, because your head kind of moves this way and your jaw stays. My jaw was so sore. It was like all around here.
Like jaw whiplash.
Yeah. And I couldn't really eat my Christmas dinner. It was fucking
oh, no.
bastard.
Because the desire was there, but the ability was not.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, the people that beat me up, I now know they're like my mates. Okay, I didn't know them at the time, and we've sort of like it was only recently on my mate's stag do that they worked out the guy that did most of the beating up of me. He was on the stag do, and he was like, "Oh, I think it was me." We're like, "Wee."
Yeah, he's sitting there telling a story about the time that he like filled this guy in on Christmas Eve, and you're sitting there thinking, that was me.
Yeah. No, it was like they all knew, like they all sort of, because it was like one of our mates' brothers at the time who we're now friends with, but like, so I knew straight away that like they knew who we knew, but we didn't speak to, we didn't start hanging out with them for years and years. And it was on the stag do, they worked out which one of them probably did did most of the damage.
Never been the same since.
But those are my Christmas dinner war stories.
I've never been beaten up on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, and I've never been sick on Christmas Day. I've been hungover a lot on Christmas Day.
Yeah, I was going to say the worst I've had is I remember being so hungover that I couldn't even eat the Christmas dinner.
I've never got that bad.
That was sad.
I've got to the point where I thought I wasn't going to. Like I used to, we'd go a lot Christmas Eve, but I'd always be all right by the time it started.
Yeah. I remember being out.
Maybe.
This is gross. I was out on Christmas Eve and like I ended up just drinking so much that you don't really remember like the end of the night. And in the morning, I'm like, oh fuck, it's Christmas Eve. I was so hungover, and I just like got dressed, had a shower, whatever, and I put on the Christmas jumper that I'd had on the night before, and it went all day wearing it. And then it wasn't until like later on I was sitting down and I like had my hand up sort of near my face. I was like, I can smell sick. I can actually smell like puke. And I looked at my sleeve and I could see like dried up puke on my sleeve. I was like, this is fucking gross. Like, then it like came back in my mind. I was like, oh yeah, I was sick. Like, but I didn't remember it in the morning. Like it just wasn't there. And then afterwards, I was like, oh yeah, fuck. Like that, didn't enjoy the Christmas dinner either.
No,
awful.
Yeah.
So yeah, don't do that anymore.
Don't drink on Christmas, guys. No. Well, apart from the Christmas part.
Yeah. Well, now it's just you drink earlier in the day on Christmas Eve. Like if it's Christmas Eve, I mean, now I don't work in retail, so I can do whatever the fuck I want. This is the first Christmas haven't worked in retail, so
yeah, loving it.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
Yeah, I've got a good 2 weeks of like doing fuck all. I've blanked myself out. But I've got gigs, got a couple of gigs, but they're like, it's not really work, is it?
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll be good ones as well. People will be on it. Yeah,
Right.
George, what you got to say about Christmas?
Well, I've got one quick thing I want to mention, which I think we do need to acknowledge, right?
Got about 6 things to talk about.
No. So, did you see that the grave or the tomb of Saint Nick, jolly old Saint Nick, has been discovered in Turkey?
No.
So they
How did this not make my headlines?
Yeah, it was about 5 days ago. It was a. Let me put the link in the chat for you. But yeah, so good old Saint Nick, who Santa Claus obviously is based on. He is supposedly. I'll put that in quotes. He is supposedly a real person. He was a real person. Obviously a saint in the Christian religion, but also I think also in a few other religions, there's like a similar figure, and they're all sort of ascribed to this same historical person.
Svert Peter.
This photo that's just like a photo of
just Santa Claus,
like a real old like tomb that's broken open, and then Santa Photoshop like crawling out of it.
That's terrible, isn't it?
But so there's like a legend associated with Saint Nick, whose body was supposedly, when he died, it was put into this sarcophagus beneath this church somewhere in Turkey, and his skeleton was distributed to lots of different churches around the world, or like popes and stuff like that, supposedly for good luck. But
they do that, don't they?
Yeah, they do that, like a relic.
Relics.
Speaking of relics, I saw a crazy relic in Budapest. There's a big church there, or cathedral. Big church, cathedral, normally what you'd call it. And in this church, there's like just hands and shit, like skeletons with crowns on. Like full, just it's like something out of a horror film. Just
I'd like to have a crown
hanging around.
When I die.
Mad. Apparently, there's lots of Christ's foreskin knocking about.
Yeah, he had a big dangly one. I think
there's so many of it going about.
There's so much of it. Yeah. But yeah, so this Saint Nick, it's just very brief. There's not really much to it. They're still investigating. But beneath the church was built on the remains of an old church, like an even older chapel. So they've now dug down to the level of this older chapel, which aligns with the period of time that Saint Nick was supposedly knocking about, healing the poor and giving gifts. Because apparently Saint Nick, that was his thing. He used to gift money to the poor and keep people out of destitution. So anyway, they've dug down, they found this tomb beneath the crypt, which appears to hold the remains of jolly old Saint Nick. So
it's such a George story, isn't it?
Yeah. So apparently they found him. They found Santa Claus, and he's dead. He's in a coffin. He's done. So Christmas is over. Christmas is officially cancelled with this announcement, unfortunately.
Have a fucking jumper off now.
Are we
this really Christmassy jumper?
Yeah. Are we done with saints? Like, when was the most recent saint? And
there was talk
can
of
people who are alive be saints? Like, is there going to be a Saint Mr. Beast? Like, is that going to be a
Saint Beast?
No, you have to be. You have to be dead.
Yeah.
And there are like categories of things. There are like requirements. Apparently, Mother Teresa was being talked about being a saint. But then loads of people say that she actually did a load of fucked up shit, but probably did a load of saints.
Well, that's the thing now, is I'm sure St. Nick probably wasn't great like his whole life. St. Patrick or whatever, like he was probably a bit of a dick, but it just wasn't, they didn't have books or like phones and stuff. Yeah. But now someone can be like perfect. I mean, like Mr. Beast is an example, right? Like gives like so much money away and like helps the blind people see or whatever, but he hires one nonce and suddenly everyone's like coming after him. So he can't be a saint anymore.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
I didn't know about that, by the way.
So that is the that's the news about Saint Nick. Obviously, we'll update listeners if we hear any more, because I know they're definitely buzzing about.
Oh yeah, edge of their seats.
Yeah, and if you've got any more information about St. Nick that we
if you
didn't
have got any information,
email, the email is still curioscast@gmail.com. I'll get around to it eventually. But or just like message us, comment on Spotify and tell us everything you know about St. Nick.
Yeah, your favourite St. Nick fan.
Push that engagement.
Yeah. I've forgotten what I was saying there.
Next story, that's what you were about to say.
Oh, sorry, you didn't like St. Nick? He wasn't a fan of St. Nick.
Right,
St. Nick is literally Father. He's Christmas personified.
It's good. It's the most Christmas thing you could have spoke about,
When you start off with, I've got a couple things, we need to rush you through it.
That's what I'm worried about.
But this is it, and it's very very basic. I found this one myself also.
Good research.
As opposed to,
No, I tell you what, right? Guess which one I found myself, and guess which one Tom provided to me for this episode. So obviously Saint Nick, and then this one, and this news story is a couple hate Last Christmas by Wham so much that they're trying to buy the song rights to take it off of the air forever.
As opposed to what's the other one? I was in
the St. Nick.
The St. Nick one.
Nick. Do you need me to run through it again?
I think you came up with the St. Nick one yourself.
He didn't even find it. He just made it up.
Yeah.
I wrote that. Yeah,
you wrote that article. Just for the crack.
So this again,
it would cost millions for the rights to that song, like hundreds of millions. Surely, it must make so much every year.
So far, Rob, this couple they've raised £50,000 to combat this. So that's got to be enough, right?
And also, they're not just always up for sale.
No. That's not how it works, right? You just have to raise nominal amount, and that's it.
And what do they mean they've raised this? People have actually given them money.
Already, the article's lied to me because it says £50,000, but then below it says they've raised a whopping £51,553. Wow. So they've actually
round down for the headline.
Oh yeah.
So this is. By the way, I also think there's another mistake in this because I'll send you the link, but I'm sure we'll probably put a photo of this couple online. But it says here that Thomas Massetti and his wife Hannah, and it says Thomas is 55 and his wife Hannah is 33. Now, I'm just going to put the link in here so you can read it. I don't think he's 55. Like, if he's 55, he's like doing pretty well for 55.
Yeah, he looks all right for 55.
I think he can't.
Does he look? Is he looking pretty wham?
He's looking well whammed out. Yeah.
Well wham.
So Hannah, it sounds like she's the main sort of mind behind this Wham aggressive stance.
Whamageddon.
Yeah, Whamageddon. So the hatred for the tune started 13 years ago when she was working in a cafe.
Yeah,
and the boss played the song on repeat.
That'll do it, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Which is, I get it. I worked in a few different retail environments where the same song appears and it's repeated multiple times in the playlist. So, get it.
We've been playing it, obviously, like every year you relearn a couple of Christmas songs, right, to gig out. And it does get like, you can see that it splits the crowd, really. Like you say you're gonna play a Christmas song. Even when you just say that, some people go, oh, and other people go, hey, even if it's a Christmas party, it's surprising how little people. You might, I'd say the majority probably are up for it. And then you start playing it, and you get. We started playing it with that. A lot of people walked out.
I think it's a good Christmas song, but I think there's about Christmas song, 5 to 10 actual good Christmas songs that I don't hate. And then you start scraping a barrel. Like, we were hosting a Christmas party here for our friends like a couple weekends ago. It was more like Thanksgiving, really, but like we had everyone over for like a big Christmassy dinner. Put on a Christmas playlist, and obviously you maybe queue up some of the bangers.
That's weird. I must miss my invite, man.
This is the Curio Christmas party, and then once you've played I'd say like somewhere between 5 and 10. I reckon there's like 8 or 9 like good ones, and then you're like, am I playing that one again?
Yeah.
Or am I just going to play like the shit ones?
Yeah. Well, I quite like the Bublé Christmas album.
Is his mostly covers though, or is it originals?
Yeah, it's all covers. It's all songs you'd know, Christmassy tunes. But it gives me an excuse every year to talk about how we did a gig with the Papini sisters who feature in the Michael Bublé
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening.
Shout out Papinis.
Shout out the Papinis. Shout out Bassy Josh. He played bass on that one.
Shout out Saint Nick. Big ups.
Yeah, wouldn't be possible without him. That would never have happened.
None of this would be possible.
No. How much does it say in this article how much the Last Christmas has been valued at?
Well, yeah, I was just about to round it off with that.
Nice, because they've got 50 grand.
Well,
so
also,
they're getting up there.
just quickly, before you drop that, leave that hook and tease.
Oh.
Because they have a thing, didn't they? People, I think it was maybe Absolute Radio started it. They call it like Whamageddon, and you see how far through the Christmas period you can get before you hear it. And if you hear it, you lose. You know, and shout out Turkish Glenn. He was always a big proponent of that. I think now he's working in bars again. He's probably given up because he's got no chance.
Yeah, you don't really have control over that.
No, that's the idea.
I'm not going to go outside.
It comes on the radio and you turn it off. Maybe you get like a split second. I don't know, or like, I don't hear it. Yeah, it's hard. You get whammed.
What about a cover?
When did I first get whammed? I'm not sure if covers count. I think that's a good question because I wondered that's why people left when I played it. I was like, if I just whammed them, if I Whamageddon them.
Because at the moment there's an advert on Dutch television. I'm not sure what it's for. I'll see if I can maybe find it. But they've recreated the Wham video. It's quite good actually, like the way they've done it. But anyway, so I don't know if that would count in the Whamageddon.
Last year, I edited a music video for Driving Home for Christmas. Chris Rea, and you know if you ever edit like a music video, you've listened to that song over and over and over and over again. Yeah. It's like you end up hating it, or it's just like burnt into your brain now. So every time I hear it now, when I hear it, it's just like, like you don't even register it as a song anymore. Like it's just like a
noise,
just a thing.
Earworm.
I like the Darkness one.
Yeah.
We did a cover of that as a video years ago, and we did it out in Turkish Glenn filmed it actually, and we did it out in his family's used to have some like bit of like land with like Christmas trees out the back, and we went out there and it was fucking freezing, and me and him were out there for hours like setting up early, and it only occurred to us like by the time like everyone sort of started, the rest of them started turning out, we'd already been out there about 6 hours by this point. I'm not quite sure we were out there so long. It was like, we didn't actually have to do this in the winter, did we? Like, we could have done this.
Those months ago.
Yeah, we had some foresight. We could have done it when it wasn't this fucking cold. I think you can kind of tell, though. You can see our breath and stuff. You can kind of tell.
Yeah. I was thinking this the other day when I was listening to, there was Christmas songs on. I was thinking, when an artist releases a Christmas song, they've obviously like gone through the whole like writing, recording, like go through the whole production. So it takes months. They must have been writing this in the summer or even maybe like the year before. It must be. I wonder if it's weird, like trying to get in the Christmassy mood when they're writing it and singing it.
Yeah.
Like when it's the middle of summer.
Are those cunts with the sausage rolls doing another one this year as well? Those fucking.
I don't know. They had like 3-4 years.
Well, they got cancelled. What?
Lad Baby. What was it? Lad Baby.
Lad Baby. Yeah. Oh yeah, he was like cheating on his missus or something, wasn't he?
Something like that. Yeah.
Of course he was.
Lad Baby.
Anyway, on that bright Christmassy festive note,
that was the chair.
So
it actually was.
just to round this off. So, do you want to take a guess as to what the value, what Wham, the rights to Wham's famous Christmas classic, Last Christmas,
millions,
owned by Warner Chappell Music UK,
100 million.
100 million.
I know the answer, so I'm not going to guess.
Oh, you googled it.
I'm going to guess that it's between 15 and 25 million.
That was my guess.
Yeah. So they're valued at between 15 and 25 million US dollars. And at the moment, this plucky couple have raised $62,100. So,
how much does it generate each year? Do you reckon it must be?
That must be mad.
I mean, it can't be more than that because then it would be a steal at 25 million, wouldn't it? It must be like $1 million a year or something. But I would have thought it'd be way more than that. I don't understand that valuation.
Well, it's just the valuation isn't the official one by the record company, right? That's just a different
this
company.
Article people just made it up today, or you just googled it.
This has come from Warner Chappell Music UK. So that's the label.
But are they the ones that own it?
I guess, yeah. It does say that Warner Chappell Music UK has been approached for comment. However, This might be a new story I'll have to update listeners on. So Saint Nick and
if you know any more
battle against Wham, because they're aiming to raise $15 million. So
well, I mean they're 0.2% of the way there. So
yeah.
And
they said if their dream comes true, they intend to dump the master recording in a Finnish nuclear reactor where it will rest for at least 2 million years.
Is that how it works?
I guess so. I quite like Wham! Last Christmas.
I think it's
I'd rather see Mariah Carey. I can't remember the name of the song. I'd rather see that in a Finnish.
Yeah, I don't like that.
How do we afford Mariah Carey?
Right, the song earns about 300 grand a year in royalties. That's less than I thought we would, to be honest.
Well, Wham!
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's less than I thought it would be. George Michael's estate donates the royalties to charitable causes close to his heart.
Oh, well, fuck this couple then. They're literally taking money from charities, right? All Curios listeners, right? Cancel them. There needs to be a campaign against this couple now.
Yeah, we're going to raise money to stop these people from raising money to take Wham off the air.
But then what? But Carey earns apparently 60 million from fucking that. Oh no, sorry. Averaging 2.6 million a year. Though. Still averaging 2.6 million a year. So why does she get so much more than? Is Last Christmas only really a UK thing? Do they not care about it worldwide?
No, surely not.
Maybe they don't.
Must
or
be,
not as much. I get. Well, clearly not as much. But
yeah.
Well, that was Curio episode 114, the Christmas special. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.